Hey homeschool friends, welcome back to Homeschool Haven. I know that everyone is starting to look at different curriculums as we approach the beginning of our homeschool year, unless you homeschool year round. But the past 2 years, we have used math from BJU for my oldest daughter. We used it for third grade, and we just finished the fourth grade, and we plan to continue the fifth grade math from BJU for her because it's been a really good fit for her. When she first started homeschooling back in kindergarten, we went through quite a few different math programs till we finally landed on this, and it was a great fit, and she asked to stick it with it for fourth, and I was like, absolutely. So why we love it? Well, one, it's a good fit for my daughter. It's mastery based, so it really focuses on one skill per week and just increases in the how in-depth they go on that subject and in her understanding. So I wanted to do a quick little flip through of kind of what this curriculum looks like. I do get the teacher edition because we did video based this year. She watched the lesson on video on DVD, and then she was able to complete the lesson on her own, which was a huge help for us this year since I also have a younger child that I homeschool. But I do get the teacher edition because if I need extra support in teaching a lesson, it's there for me. And all of the answers are in the teacher guide, which makes grading her work super easy. So I do invest in the teacher edition. I don't think you have to have it if you go video-based, but for me, it was just something I wanted to have. And then there is a student workbook, which did not look like this when I first got it. But what I like to do is tear out each chapter and staple it together for her and put it in a folder. That way it's a little less overwhelming than just like a big workbook. And then this is her work for the week. So all the lessons just stapled together. And what she does is she watches her video lesson. She does the front page with the instructor on the video, and then the back page she does independently. There's also an assessment test book that you can purchase. But what I did that worked really well is at the end of each chapter, so this was chapter 16, there's a review. So there's a review and then there's a test. I found that the review and the tests were very similar, just different problems. So I used the review as her test to show understanding of the chapter. Now, if she didn't do well on the review, then we would revisit that skill, reteach as needed, and then test with the assessment that you can get. As far as any materials for this, we would just pull them out as needed. Anything with the base 10 blocks, fractions, multiplication, anything that we needed, we would just pull for that lesson. So I just kind of want to show you what was covered. I'm not going to read it to you, but I'll pause here for a second so you can kind of see what is covered in grade 4. And then I'll flip to, so this shows you all of the instructional materials. Like I said, here's the assessments that I did not use because I used the review as the test. Now, let me also say that this curriculum is 180 lessons, which is a beast to get through. We rarely ever skip math. But by not doing the assessments and using the review as her test, I was able to knock out about 20 lessons or so, which made it a little more manageable for us in our homeschool. But I wanted to, this kind of just shows you how each lesson works. But if you're doing the video lessons, you really don't need that. All right, here's where I want it to go. So here's the overview of each chapter in a little more detail. And I'll just kind of flip through this real quick so you can see. You can pause on the video if that's more helpful. Like I said, this is a mastery-based program. My daughter's tried other programs in the past that were more spiral. And a lot of times they had a lot of different skills in one lesson, which I think is great as review, but it was overwhelming for her. So it's really about finding a good fit for you and for your family. And so if you want any more details on this curriculum, we've used it for 2 years. We plan to continue using it. Hopefully this video kind of gives you a better understanding of how it works. But if you have more questions, let me know, and don't forget to like and share.